Hello and welcome back to the Academy of the Magical Art. I am Frater Ophiel, and today we are going to be talking about the sacred space, or altar, that we as magical practitioners use. I feel that it is very important for a magical person or a magical practitioner to dedicate an area of their home to their craft. Some people have altars that they set up upon use and break back down. Other people have one altar in their home, and some people have many. Other people will dedicate an entire room to their practice and create for themselves a temple. Really, the thing to remember here is that your sacred space and your temple is a reflection of your inner temple. Now, mind you, depending on how long you've been involved in the craft and collecting tools and such, this will play into how elaborate your altar is and what you have to build it with. The important thing is that you have an area dedicated to your practice. I myself have had all of the above, ranging from when I was younger. I had a little box that I kept some of my tools in and would take out when I wanted to do some spell work or do a ritual, which then moved to a standing altar that I had erected at all times. And now I have a temple in the upstairs of my home that I go into and work every night and sometimes every morning. Either way, it is a reflection of yourself, your craft, the deities that you serve, and the magics you perform. As I said earlier, this is an outer temple representing the inner temple of the self, the spirit, and the mind. Some different things that you may want to remember when erecting your temple is to have a balance of energies. I like to have representations of all four elements being air, fire, water, and earth. For air, people will use a bell. Some people will use smudge and a feather. For earth, people will use things like stones or a salt dish. For water, oftentimes you'll find shells or a chalice. And for fire, we will have candles. Now, there are also other tools involved, such as the ritual dagger or athame and the wand. You will find things like the pentacle, which is a representation of earth, the besom. All sorts of things can take all sorts of variations. Still to this day, I hear debates about whether the wand is associated with fire and whether the athame is associated with air or vice versa. Realistically, both arguments are sound, and depending on what area of the craft and what background you are coming from, your opinions may differ. I hear many ritualistic magicians say that they associate the athame with air because the athame cuts through the air, a door into your circle, and the wand with fire because wands or wood are the fuel for the fire. On the other hand, the athame is forged in fire, and the wand blows in the breeze as a branch. So both of these arguments are very sound in their nature, and neither is really right or wrong. It depends on the individual practitioner and how they currently stand in their life. Naturally, the more time that you spend in your craft and in your magical practice, the more elaborate your altar may become, and the more tools you may acquire. Everybody will have different levels of experience, and everybody will have different levels of exposure and ability to collect these items. Some people say that you never want to buy a tool and you should always make it yourself or have it gifted to you. Other people will say, well, it's okay to buy a tool just as long as you bless it yourself. Again, fit these things to yourself and your own magical practice. What feels right to you? What energy went into the crafting of this tool? What energy are you going to put in it yourself? Because all energy that, I should not say all, because most energy that a tool acquires is energy that can be cleansed, and this tool can be rededicated and consecrated to your individual craft. We will be making a separate video specifically dedicated to the tools that we use throughout our magical practice. So make sure to subscribe so that you can receive updates when this video is posted if this is something that you are interested in. I hope that this short video was helpful and educational for you, and lend some insight on the importance of having a space. Again, if you do not have a special space for yourself, I really want to encourage that you take some time to prepare that for yourself and set either, as I said, keep it set up on a full-time basis, or have an altar that you can set up and break down and set up and break down as needed, depending on where you are in life.